What's up, cool people? I'm Matt Conroy. Welcome back to my vlog. I've been running into some instances lately of just kind of encountering that I feel old kind of feeling. I mean, what reminded me of this most recently was taking a trip to Walmart and realizing that there pretty much was no CD music section anymore. It was pretty much just everything, with a few exceptions. But like almost all of it was just shoved into one of those like discount bins. And so I'm like, well, guess that shows you where the market for CDs is going. And what made me feel old when I reflected on that was like, holy crap, I remember when CDs were a brand new thing. I'm starting to understand some of the feeling of, you grew up with this technology that was new and amazing and everybody loved it, and then, like, a decade or two later, it's pretty much non existent. There's so many different things that have been outmoded, outdated, and just practically don't exist anymore. I mean, there are some people that almost for the sake of nostalgia want to keep certain things alive. Like, somehow there's still a market for vinyl music records. I guess, especially in the vein of technology, it's one of those things where I'm starting to realize just how fast-paced things are moving. And then, of course, all sorts of other changes happening. Yeah. Other things that have, kind of made me feel old-ish recently. Few years ago, realizing that there was pretty much no such thing as Blockbuster anymore. Or the fact that now you pretty much have Toys R Us that's like going bankrupt or out of business or something like that. And part of that, I would argue there are decent reasons for. I worked at a Toys R Us for like all of a month while I was in California, and there was a whole bunch of reasons why it didn't last any more than a month, because it was a terrible work experience. But I'm kind of digressing now. But yeah, so you got that, and then recently there was the kind of the end of AIM, as it was called, the instant messaging app. Not even an app. Wow, I'm using modern terms to describe old technology, and it's just like, no, that doesn't work. But it was the instant message program thing that the old AOL users would use to communicate with each other. Like, it was sort of early text almost, or early version of like Facebook chat or something like that. And it's just, oh man, I've been on a bit of a nostalgia bomb kick thing recently, and if you couldn't tell, it's just one of those things where I'm kind of amused by some of the old stuff and just how old it seems now, but also kind of just like, oh geez, where's the time gone? Really, this whole feeling old feeling, I do think some of us use the term a little bit too much. I mean, it's okay to express what you're feeling at the moment, but I'm one of those people where, okay, I realize if I say I'm feeling old, then there are plenty of people out there that are older than me that it's basically me saying they should feel old too, or it's like implying that. I don't mean to communicate that, but it sort of implies that as well. So I'm just like, yeah, most of the time I keep quiet about things that make me feel old. It's just so many of these recent things where I just look back and again, it's kind of nice to see how far we've come. Like, you take even just memory and data storage in particular, that it is mind-blowing how far we have come, even just in the past, like, decade, when it comes to that. I remember getting a PlayStation 2 and it was probably maybe a little more than 10 years ago, maybe more closer to 15, I guess. But I remember getting that PlayStation 2, and it would have the like 8 megabyte memory card things that you would have to buy and plug in, and 8 megabytes could pretty much hold like 30 different games worth of save files. And nowadays, though, you've got these video game consoles that come preloaded on their own with 500 gigs or even a terabyte of memory. Of course, the games have also gotten massively larger comparatively, but you know, you compare that to what it used to be, and it's just that's pretty much the description of what's going on here. Like, when you realize that almost any cell phone that anybody owns anymore, especially if it's a smartphone, literally every single smartphone in all of existence now has more storage space on it and computing power than the computers that were used to send people to the moon at first. Kind of makes you wonder why the heck we're utilizing our technology in the ways that we are for some cases. Like, there's so many just useless things that we do with our technology. I'm trying to remember what the numbers were, but I feel like it was like less than even a megabyte worth of computing power that NASA used to put people on the moon, and it's just like, holy cow. So you multiply that by how many times that fits into what we have now, and just holy crap, you know? You multiply that distance, we could probably be sending people to like Jupiter. But what are we doing with it? You know, we got all these useless apps, we've got all this social media communication that's bogging down our time, and I'm not saying that what we're doing with technology is inherently bad, but it makes you wonder, though, what could we be doing with this? When I get those moments of, you know, feeling old, and I'm going to keep air quoting feeling old just because that's the popular phrase that's used, and I don't have a better way to describe it. When I get that particular feeling, it now tends to come with a bit of like, what are we doing as a culture, as a society? 'Cause we have so many more advantages than we've ever had before, and yet we still have so many problems. Like, what are we doing, people? And then, of course, you take the various celebrities that have passed recently and just different things like that, where, you know, you have all these people you really looked up to or things that you got really excited about, and how a lot of it these days, I don't know, it's almost like it's not as present there. Maybe this is just the nostalgia speaking. Who knows? Maybe I should talk some more with the students I work with and see how they feel, get more acquainted with the stuff that they grew up on, or the people that are their role models and that kind of stuff. And I'm also curious to see about 10, 20 years down the line how they're going to feel when some of this seemingly revolutionary technology gets outdated and replaced and that kind of stuff. A couple of guesses as to things that are going to fade away. This one might not be the most obvious, but it's the first one that came to mind. But like, I can't imagine the curved TV thing being the trend for very long. I see literally no practical application to having a curved TV. Maybe that's just me, but I just don't see it. And, you know, the current HD TVs, I think 4K is still going to be around, maybe-ish, for a few years to come. But what we first referred to as HD is probably on the way out, might even be just completely outdated and all but gone, especially 20 years down the road, maybe even 10. And that's the thing, like, the capabilities of technology are changing so rapidly these days, and it's just expanding and growing so much more. It's like you wonder where we're going to be in 10, 20 years. I'm genuinely curious to see what's going to happen with all that kind of stuff. It also makes certain things a lot harder to keep up with, because especially if you're looking to do youth ministry kind of stuff, you gotta try and keep up with the trends, at least enough to not seem like you're some super old person or an alien or whatever, and you can actually communicate with younger people about what's going on. So, yeah, it's getting harder and harder to keep up with all of the trends and the technology and all the things that are changing. So, I mean, there's good and bad to everything. I'm just hoping in the future there's more good going on than bad. And hopefully, any improvements to technology will be for the better. I know there are going to be some that will be harmful or destructive or make things worse, but I can't imagine all of them are going to be like that. And I'm hoping, really, that there's going to be a little bit more good than bad going down the future timeline there. But anyway, that was just me kind of getting my feelings across. I'm hoping maybe I can get back to some of these more just talking about what's going on with me, vlog type things, actual legitimate or at least close to vlog type stuff. Because I know I've bounced around between some different series of things that I've done. So I don't know, maybe I could get back to a little bit more of feeling like I'm connecting with all of you viewers out there. But anyway, well, we'll just have to see what happens with all that. Anyway, that's pretty much all I've got this time around. So, as always, like and share if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to my channel, click the bell button, check the notification box. Then you'll get all the latest updates on my videos and anything else that I post like that. You can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter. I also have Instagram. If you're trying to keep up with the videos, though, Facebook and Twitter are a little bit better. But information on all three of those are down in the description there. And feel free to leave comments on this topic, on other topics you want me to talk about, on just ideas, comments, thoughts, questions, anything that you're wanting to communicate. Leave it in the comments section down below. And that's pretty much all the different ways you can keep up and interact with me. So, I hope you're all doing well, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Stay cool, people.